This is a fun one. Is anyone else learning more in their homeschool mom experience than they did in their own school experience? I sure am. Hands up down in the comments below because, well, this is a big one for me. And it's been so much fun and a lot more fun than I thought it would be, diving into first grade social studies, your geography, history, culture, etc. This is all we're doing for first grade. I'm so glad you're here, pal. My name's Jordan Ashley. If we haven't met before, I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kiddos, 2 school-age kiddos though, and we learn at home, at Disney World, and around the world. This is the most magical homeschool on earth. I share tips, tricks, and inspiration, resources that you can use for your own journey. So I cannot wait to get to know you, whether you join us here in these communities or you're just subscribed, hit that notification bell so that we can learn and grow together. Ready? Let's dive in. So social studies is definitely one of our more eclectic subjects here at the most magical homeschool on earth. There are a few other subjects you can see in our playlist all about what we're doing for first grade. That is a little bit more open go, out of the box curriculum. We follow a more strict curriculum. However, social studies is really freeform for us. We incorporate a lot of different things and we piece it all together in a way that works for us. And I would love to know what works best for your family. It is one of our family subjects, so it doesn't need to just work for our first grader, but also for our preschooler as well, and with a little baby occasionally crying in the corner. So, we need to make it flexible and fun for the whole family. So I'm going to touch on all of the things that we're going to be doing, and if you want a deeper dive into any of them, let me know down in the comments and I will be sure to make a full video. So the first thing that we're going to be trialing and trying to incorporate is the My Story and the World Around Me one. So this is meant for like lower elementary. It has activity time, word find time, review time, my journal time. So she'll be doing some writing, some reading, and some different activities in here to try to incorporate some fun learning objectives. It is from Master Books and it does look very colorful and fun. She'll be practicing some of her copy work and handwriting. We'll be learning about some other countries and mostly, I believe, other continents, but that's later on. First, we just focus on like, what is social studies, what is a community, what is a family, what is a neighborhood, and like expand on that, those lower elementary, like early social studies principles. So I'm not sure how much we're going to dive into this, but we are going to trial it out and I will keep you updated. So if you want to see the full video, be sure you check the playlist. I will show you a deep dive into this book. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing is incorporating unit studies. If you know me and you are part of this community, you know that we love unit studies here. I create ours, at least most of them. There are a few that we've utilized from other homeschooling families and other homeschooling moms that have their own small businesses, and I've loved them. There's a few from the Waldwick Way, for example. You can see the link down in the description box below to the ones that we've utilized. But this year we're going to be focusing on some really fun ones that are inspired by different themes from different movies that we know and love. This year we're focusing on ones that pair really well with watching Moana or pair really well with watching Encanto. They're not in any way affiliated or associated with Disney, but they are inspired by, and I think that it will help them kind of grasp the concepts and really get engaged with the content a lot more when they are kind of geared towards something they already know and love. And I dive deeper into that in other videos. So I'm not gonna go into them in this video, but we'll be focusing on Colombia and Polynesia because that is where those stories take place. So we will learn a lot about the culture and geography of those locations in those unit studies. And then we also learn a lot at Walt Disney World. We do live in Mickey's backyard. We're the most magical homeschool on earth for a reason. We learn, grow, and explore everywhere, but one place is Disney World. So we go to Epcot and we learn in the World Showcase. We go and talk to people from 10 different countries that so people will come from China, for example, and they will come to work at Disney World, and they will come to work in the China Pavilion, and we will go to China and we will get to talk to those people. We'll get to learn about them, learn a few words in their language, learn about their country, about their customs, about things that They're excited about learning while they're here or experiencing while they're here, and we really love getting to engage with different people from around the world, and I love getting to expose my kids to different cultures in that way. It's such a gift to be able to experience the world coming to us here in that way. So we'll learn from the cultural representatives that come from Africa or from France. We're going to France later this year, so we'll learn from them here at Epcot, and then we will go visit, and same thing in the UK, we will learn, and then we will go visit, and then we will like kind of compare, and we'll get to come back and talk about those experiences with those cast members. So I'm really excited to see where that leads. And there's so many different other ways. We'll learn about Polynesia when we go visit the like Polynesian Village Resort. There's just so many different facets to that. If you're interested, be sure you're subscribed. And if you want to know more details, please comment down below. I would love to talk more about them with you. Now, I promise we'll get to the resources in just a second. I have a few more resources, well, a lot kind of piled up right next to me, but I have one more thing that we just touched on that I want to kind of dive deeper into for just a sec, and that is travel. We love learning through experiences, and we experience the world through travel, whether we are learning about geography, culture, nature, the just other cultures that are around the world. We learn about different languages, we learn about architecture, we learn about transportation, we learn about so many different things through experiencing the world around us in a way that is intentional. And we study about a country before we visit. We're going to do several road trips this upcoming year. We are traveling the States, and then we are also going through Europe this upcoming year. So we have a lot that we will be learning and different units that we will be focusing on through those studies. So if you want to learn more about that, I will have full videos all about how we incorporate learning into our travels and how you can too. And it's not as hard as you might think to travel with little kids, even on a budget. So we have all of those videos coming out soon. Please let me know which videos you're most interested in, because I feel like I just could talk for hours and I don't want to do that because I want to value your time. So next up, let's look at some of the other resources that we utilize for social studies for first grade. The next resource we use for history for first grade and for our preschooler, because it is a family subject, is Honest History. So they have some podcasts that are really great for kids, and I will do a deep dive into Honest History later. But here's just an example of how we are utilizing this for our family. So the first one we're doing is a study of ancient Egypt. And so we will dive deep into reading about it. We will listen to the podcasts that are associated with it, and then we will also build a unit around it. So I will flag through all of our books that we have that have to do with that subject. So you wouldn't want to be a pyramid builder, or I will flag anyone that has to do with ancient Egypt in any of our history books or any other books that we have that are resources. So any of our, like, we have artist books, we have our maps, our atlases. We will flag it in our Window Through the World book when we're learning about like praying for different countries. We will flag it in our Child Throughout Time book. So we'll learn about ancient Egypt through the lens of all of these different resources. So we'll dive deeper into atlases. We'll learn from our Countries Around the World book or our history book. So there are so many different resource books that we have that sometimes I will just put out for our kids to like comb through and see what interests them most. And we do that from time to time, but a lot of times I will just flag things that go along with whichever Honest History book we are going through. And the first one, like I said, is our Egypt book. So it's been interesting and it's been great so far, and our kids really enjoy it. These are all the different ones that we will be diving into for this book. So here we go. Wonders of the World. If you would like to know more about the different ways that we incorporate resources into like different resource books, or which ones that we utilize the most, I have my favorites list on my storefront if you were interested in learning more about that. But we also utilize other resource books as well. So we really love like other Osborne books, and we learn through famous explorers. And again, we kind of dive deeper. So we have lots of resources that go along with where we're traveling to. So kind of going back to travel, we're going to Spain, so we have more information on Spain. Same thing with France. We're going to France and the UK, and so we'll learn about the people from those countries and some of their great discoveries and histories there. These are just more things for our kids to like comb through and go through so that they can learn more about the world around them and ways that interest them most. So this is one of the best ways to do that, through Picturepedia. It's honestly, for our kids that don't read a ton, it just has pictures of everything. And they dive deep into learning about those. And so we will utilize that for social studies, for history, for language arts, for science, so many other things. And then we will also use this world globe, and they can do that on their own, where they can like play games and it talks to them, and they can learn, and they really enjoy that. Now the next thing that we're incorporating this year is something small and sweet, and that is these letters from Paddington that they get from a different country in the world, and they get to put something in their little travel journal, and they get to do an activity in there each time. They learn a little bit about that country and people that live there, and ways that we can kind of step into those spaces if there is need there. So we are loving those. They do love Paddington, especially with the prospect of visiting the UK. They have really loved diving into the Paddington stories, and that's just a way for us to, that's just one of those ways that we get them excited about going to a location, especially at such a young age. We dive into stories that are kid appropriate, that show those landmarks and show those activities that they're going to be doing when we travel. So again, that's more into the travel space and ways that we incorporate learning through those. But one more thing. Oh yeah, book studies. We love learning through books. And so if we're learning about, we do Magic Treehouse books, for example, and a lot of times my daughter loves trying to read those on her own, and loves the graphic novel set, for example, and we will dive into, there's even a pyramids one, or a one that where they go to ancient Egypt, and so we're going to use that when we learn about ancient Egypt in that unit, and when we do that honest history book. So just trying to piece it all together. It seems like a lot, and it seems like it's going in a lot of different directions, but for us it really works, and it doesn't have to look the same way in your homeschool. Whatever is feasible and works for you, that's what you should do, because you know your kids best and you know what they need, and I believe in you. And I think that if you would like to learn more about ways that we utilize different things, please let me know down in the comments. Send me an email. You can do that as well. And you can join our Facebook community if you would like to learn more ways that we can engage with our kiddos and help them experience the world around them, even from your very own home. So I will see you soon, pal, and I hope to see you in the rest of our first grade curriculum playlist.